thanks everyone for coming along. So I'm Sarah and I work out of the Bay of Islands, but I coach people all over New Zealand and even some people over in the West Island in Australia. So I'm really, really lucky to work with all sorts of different businesses all over the place. So, but a lot of what I'm going to talk about today and a lot about what I do in my coaching, we still have our own businesses that we run. We're still running overnight cruise in the Bay of Islands, and we use lots of, or what I'm going to share with you today is exactly what we do in that business and talk a little bit about some of the results that we get there as well. So I'm going to talk about Google and Facebook because that's where all the traffic is coming from. So, hearing people say to me all the time, oh, Facebook, it's going out of fashion and it's only for old people and all those sorts of things. Don't believe the hype. The statistics show that they are still got most of the traffic that's happening online. So between Google and Facebook, they are absolutely still taking 70% of the traffic. So if you're online, you need to be in those two places at a minimum. And you want to make sure that you're checking what people are saying to you. So it's all well and good if you're dealing with people that are a bit younger. So if you're dealing with people sort of up to their 30s, you are going to certainly want to be on Instagram, which Facebook controls. And you're certainly going to want to be looking at the new things that are coming through. So things like Snapchat and how you can use that to connect with your audience. So make sure you're aware of it, but at an absolute basic, these are the two places to be at the moment where all your traffic's coming from. So one of the things that I find in business is that makes me really nervous is when people invest in things that they don't understand. So if you don't understand stocks and shares, you shouldn't invest in them. If you didn't understand property, you shouldn't invest in them. If you want to put money into Facebook and Google, you need to understand the language that people are talking to you. I don't necessarily think that every business person should do this work themselves. I think that there is absolutely a place for using someone to do your marketing for you, but you need to understand the language that they're going to be talking to you. So you need to be able to ask great quality questions of them about what sort of results they're going to get for you and how. And if you can't challenge them on those things because you don't understand enough, you shouldn't be putting your money with them and investing with them. So the main thing that I've found really, really valuable for people is the Google versus Facebook is understanding what they're looking for from you, because they're a business. And so they're looking for something specifically from you as a client. And so they're looking for something specific from you to deliver for their business. So with Google, they're a search engine, but they make their money off advertising. But they can only make the money off you and their advertising if you're inside their real estate. So Google got awesome at this. Google got great at showing you up the right search engine results for what you were looking for. They're just awesome at it. They were so good that it damaged their business, because they were throwing you up the right results, you were clicking onto the right results, and now you're in somebody else's real estate. Now you're in somebody's website, not in Google. Once they're in somebody else's website, not in Google's real estate, they can't serve you up ads anymore. So they had to change their framework and look at how they were running their business to make sure that they could keep you inside their Google machine a bit longer so they could serve up some more ads to you and charge business people a little bit more for their advertising. So they want you to stay in the real estate. So what they're asking you to do now is put your information on their real estate. All the information you can find on my website is also on Google's Google My Business page, on their maps, so that people can find it without leaving Google at all. So Google's made it so that they don't actually have to go to your website at all to find certain bits of information, so they keep you inside their real estate. And Facebook is just a media company, right? Which makes its money off advertising. Just like the TV media companies, just like the newspaper media companies, it makes its money off advertising. And again, it wants people to stay in its real estate longer. And so it needs great quality content to ensure that people stay inside its real estate on Facebook, in either the mobile app or on the desktop, to make sure that people will stay there and stay inside it. So you've got to consistently provide them with great content that people are going to be interested in and want to engage with. So that now we really talk about, it's not just enough to be entertaining, cat videos, and it's not just enough to educate. You also have to do kind of the two together to the point wherein it's really cheesy, but you have to edutain. You have to educate and entertain these people at the same time. You have to be dynamic and interesting to watch, and you also have to teach them something as you go along. It's really about adding that value to their life. If you can make them laugh and enjoy the experience, as well as teaching them something, you're really going to have them captured in that moment. So what do we need to do? So what I wanted to do today is go through some really simple things that I think, so our 3 must-dos in terms of Google My Business. And there are lots of other things that you can do in Google, but I'm trying very hard to keep to time today because last time I was way over. So if anybody wants more, let us know. There's loads and loads of free tools. At the very least, you want to be using Google Analytics, Google My Business for your business if you've got a website. And there's loads of them that you can do. So get in touch and I'm happy to talk them through with you one-on-one for what would work for your business. So also, in Facebook, the same thing. So when I talk about Google Real Estate, this is Google Real Estate. So when I look for an overnight cruise, and this is absolutely swayed so that I can pull up and show you what our business looks like. So it's done from my computer where I've clearly been going into these websites all the time, so it's not an accurate search result. It's not an incognito mode, but this is the Google Real Estate. And so in here, they can serve me up loads of adverts as their customer, right? So they're immediately serving me up a couple of online travel agents that are advertising against overnight cruise in New Zealand. And if they can, they want to keep me even longer in the real estate. So if I'm looking for any of the information about the Rock Adventure Cruise, I can find it all here. I don't even have to go to the website anymore. And I'm staying inside Google. And Google loves that because all around here, they can serve me adverts all day long. Even if you click into my listing here on Google My Business, they're going to serve me up more adverts. So what do you need to do to help Google send you more customers? You need to make sure that all your information is here for them. Okay? So you need to, one, most importantly, make sure you've claimed your Google My Business listing. It terrifies me how many businesses are out there that haven't claimed something that's a 2-minute job, that's a free piece of resource that Google gives to you, that they promote nearly 50% of their page when they do their searches to, and people have not even claimed it yet. So if you've got any sort of business, you need to be there and go and find your way around it. The other thing with Google is that the way that Google checks that your business is still open all the time is that you're making changes. So if you have a physical business, you open your doors every day. Good morning, hello, put your sign out and say you're open. And at the end of the day, you go, I'm finished, and I'm bringing my sign back in and I'm closing the doors. And that's how people know you're open and you exist. Online, the way that they know that you exist, you've logged in and you've made a change. Hello, we're still here. We've changed our opening hours. We've got a new photo. We've got a new thing that we're selling. You've got to be communicating all the time with Google saying that you're there and you're open. You can't go in here tomorrow or later on this afternoon, go and update all of this information and then never look at it again. Google's also very clever. So to make sure that you don't just do it once and never go back there again, it allows Joe Public the ability to change things on your Google My Business. Right? So if you set this up, if I'd set this up 12 months ago and then just left it, someone could come along and say, no, she's not a tour operator, she sells dog food. Change the dog food. And if I don't go in and make sure that it's correct or confirm it or deny it, it can get changed if you don't check in over a period of time. Your prices can get changed, your phone number, all of that stuff can be changed by other people. You want to be in there making sure that it's up to date. And then you want to be in there making sure nobody's changed something so that it's incorrect for you. All right? Because that can happen. So the 3 things that I think you need to do. You need to go and claim it. Go and get yourself some Google Real Estate. It's free. If you don't even have a website, go and grab it. It's a great way to get your phone number out there, your contact details, where you're located, and put some photos and videos up. Post regularly. It needs to be up to date and it needs to be accurate information. Photos and videos. They've now allowed you to post videos. So over time, Google has worked out that they're not going to compete with the monster that is Facebook. So remember Google Plus, their social that was going to come out and compete with Facebook? It didn't work. And so they are closing that down come August, I think it's August this year, sometime this year. And so already we're starting to see feeds where we've been able to connect through scheduling softwares. They're already disappearing away from Google+. But some of the functionality that we got in Google+, we're now getting in Google My Business. So the ability to make a post or create an event or post our videos is all starting to show up in Google My Business. The other thing is reviews. So you have to respond to all your reviews. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. There should never be a review on your page that is not responded to. Okay, again, it says to Google, hey, I'm here, I'm open, I exist. But not only that, it gives your side of the story. If you ever got a bad review, you know, sometimes there's an explanation for it. And sometimes you get it wrong, and sometimes you have to go, sorry, I got it wrong, and acknowledge that and say these are the changes we've made. And other times you need to explain your side of the situation. But you must respond. Google places the responses as something that will help you float to the top of the search engines. And then you need to update it. Like I was saying before, you can't just set and forget. You have to go in. And we recommend that you do it at least weekly. We post videos and photos and respond to our reviews at least once a week. We allocate 30 minutes to do it every week for all of our businesses. Depending on the time of the year and what's going on, we may go in and load more regularly because we've got so much content, particularly coming off the boats. Not so much in my coaching business. I don't take such great photos as dolphins and sunsets. In the tourism game, obviously there's a lot for us to post on a regular basis, but certainly once a week at an absolute minimum, you need to be in there and having a look. It takes 30 minutes. It might not even take you that long. You need to go in, look, check, update, tell Google you exist. So this is our business. So we've been really thorough about this for the last 6 months. When we started, we were getting around about 1,000 searches a month. We're now getting 8,500. Of those, 6,000 of them are people who are finding us through the categories and product listings that Google allows you to do. Now, it's really important you go in and you add all the categories. So you can add up to 10 categories. Don't add all 10 categories. It will stop you from being able to make regular posts. I think if you add about 7 or 8, and it will depend. So all Google My Business listings for different categories look different. So how my coaching business, Google My Business looks and the functionality I've got and how our cruise business looks is quite different. But we have found that if you add 10 categories, so 1 lead category and 9 subcategories, it stops the posting functionality. So you might just want to do 7 or 8. But it gives you the chance to show up in lots of different categories. So the categories, products or service, you can choose the 9 best ones or the 8 best ones when you're setting up. And so we're getting about 6,500 people that are coming to our website, and we're showing up in searches through Google My Business, which has been really powerful for us. And it's in a really competitive market. So we're getting a huge number of views of people seeing our information, seeing our photos, seeing our videos, seeing where we operate each month. Now, this is the rock, yeah. So obviously in the rock, it's going to be swayed a little bit. The listing on maps is going to be high because someone's booked on my trip already, and now they need to find where they're departing from, so they're searching for our location. So there is a sway in terms of that. But you just be aware of that, knowing what your business is and having some insights. All this is all provided free for you. They just give you all this information about what's going on in your business. Photos are massive. This changed the whole game for us. When I first did it, when I first set up my Google My Business, I went in and I set it all up and I loaded all the photos all at once. And it was good for a little while, but then even though I had way more photos than everyone else, I wasn't getting the traffic. I wasn't getting the photo views. I wasn't getting people looking at what we were doing and where we were doing it. Now we regularly load new photos and videos up. And we're getting double the traffic to our photos that everybody else in businesses like us. So they take all the businesses that are using the same categories as you, and they compare you to those and give you some stats around it. On the other side, you've got Facebook. Now, Facebook is constantly changing. It was a conversation we were having before we started. With all of these businesses, they have so much information about what people are doing and how they're doing it. They're making so many changes on a daily basis. And so again, it's something that you need to be checking in and doing on a regular basis. If you have a business, having a business page is key. Again, it's a great place to send people and engage with people from your business, especially if you're trying to create a culture of raving fans. So we have a pretty solid raving fan base at the Rock Adventure Cruise. If people have been out with us in the last 10, 11 years, they're still coming back and talking to us about what they did 8 years ago and 9 years ago on the Facebook page when they see something pop up in their feed. So we regularly post on the page. It provides you so many different ways to connect with your clients. So depending on what your business is, you can do different things. So book now, message, so you're immediately interacting with them straight away. We're closing sales straight off that messenger service just by responding to them quickly. So it's just another way. People are inside their Facebook feed. They want to interact with you there. They don't necessarily want to have to go to your website to interact with you. So make sure it's all up to date. Make sure you're asking for people to recommend you, and make sure you are consistently posting to the page. It used to be that having a great big database was the name of the game. If you had a great big database, you had a really great value add in terms of your business. You could talk to them on a regular basis and do all of those great marketing actions. Now the game is to have the biggest pixelated database. So what you want to have is your database hooked up to the information that Facebook has. So whether you like the fact that Facebook has a ton of information about you and anybody else that's on Facebook or who's ever been on Facebook, use the machine to your advantage. They have a little piece of software called a pixel. It must be on your website before you use any of the marketing options inside Facebook. I see people spending money all the time on Facebook with sponsored posts, going, oh, look at this, I've got 300 likes, but they can't. What you're trying to do is drive people to where they can convert with you. So unless they're converting on your Facebook page, sending you a message or making a booking from your page or buying something from your page, you need to send them where you can convert, which is your website. So send them there where you can get their contact details, where you can ask them to contact you via phone number, or they can purchase with you. And once they've been there, they've got some information about them and how they interact with your website, and that information comes back into Facebook and makes Facebook smarter about what your customers, your clients, your guests are looking for. It takes all of that information and it can work faster, better for you all the time. So we've been feeding the Facebook machine now for 2 years, really great quality, consistent information. So we tell them, we upload our database. So feed it all the time. We upload our database into Facebook and it says, hey, thank you for all that information. I'm not going to tell you that I can go off and find, what it does, it tells you I can go off and find them, but it doesn't give you that information. But it goes off and finds those people on Facebook. And then you can target people like that. Their ages, how much money they're making, like so much detail. Now, in the travel business, I can say, target people who are thinking about traveling, considering traveling in the near future. Like, it has got so much information, it can direct the right people to your business really, really easily. And then post. So they're saying ideally you're looking at about 3 times per week, but really what it comes down to is just consistency. So if all you're doing is once a week, that's great, but you want your fans, your people that are engaged with your business to know if they come to your page, they're going to get some consistent quality value content once a week, and there will always be something new every week. You want to be adding value to your current clients, guests, customers, and those potential ones as well. And so in the last 6 months, we haven't paid for 1 like on our page. I don't buy likes because I'm not interested in the ego metrics of having 20,000 people on my page. I could buy 20,000 people like that, just spend some money. What I'm after are engaged people, and so we've organically grown the growth on our page over the last 20% purely through creating content that they want to get their hands on. So for us, our past clients who are a great source of referral for us, we've started giving them for free great photos and great video that we have someone on board taking, and we give it to them for nothing. And so they all come to our Facebook page to get that. And then they share it, tag it, tell people when they come to New Zealand and come to the Bay of Islands, these are the guys you need to check out. 10% of our page fans are engaging with our posts each week. So of the 6,000 people that are on our page, 600 of them are coming and engaging with us in some way, shape or form, whether it be a comment, a share, a like, a love, a recommend. They are engaging that much with our page every week without spending any money. I don't boost any of this content. And 20% of our page fans are being reached by our posts each week. It's all completely organic. Okay? I do use the paid functionality to retarget. So if someone's been to my website, had a look at my website and then gone, oh, squirrel, child's run into the room, phone's rung, I have to go and do something else, and they've just left from converting with me, whether that means signing up to my newsletter or making a booking, I want to make sure that they see me again at some point in the Instagram scroll or in the Facebook feed, and I can do that through the paid options with Facebook just by having that pixel online.
Sorry, what was that pixel?
The pixel. So if you go, it's a little bit of...
Oh yes, the pixel, but what's the bit that makes sure they come back to you?
So what I do is I retarget. So what we do is we take and we create an audience that says, if people came to my website and looked anywhere on my website, but didn't get to this page that says, thank you for booking, they were there and they were interested and they were looking, but they didn't buy. And so I say, Facebook, put this advert in front of every person that came to my website, excluding the people that purchased, with this video that talks about, you know, a whole lot of recommendations from our guests. Put in front of them one of our crew member talking about their whole thing is to be, you know, having these experiences and sharing these experiences with people. That's what life's all about for them, and that's why they do what they do in their job. You know, and people say the best thing about coming on our boat is the crew. So let's get them to know the crew a little bit better in advance. Make sense? So it's quite that, you know, going and learning how to do that. I can't do that in 20 minutes. And I'm not necessarily expecting that you will all do that in your own small business, but you should understand that you can measure to that much detail and you can target to that much detail. And then I can say, every time I retarget person, it costs me somewhere between $9 and $27, depending on the advert I'm running, depending on the pages that they're going to convert a $550 to $700 sale on my website. That's my average sale on my website. And that cost me somewhere between $9 and $27. If I paid an online travel agent to send me that person, it would cost me 20%, which is more like $100. Yep.
Do you know what sort of conversion you're getting from if you're retargeting people who didn't make it to that conversion page?
Yeah.
Do you know what sort of rate of conversion you're getting by retargeting them?
Yeah, so we can see all of that detail. The challenge with it is that it's a limited time frame. So Facebook only says in 7 days. And so for us, we're getting people that are booking 6 to 12 months in advance. So sometimes the considering to the conversion phase in this particular instance is a long period. If I was selling a product that was $20, I would be expecting that I would convert it and I would be able to see all the conversion rates in that period. Yeah, so it just depends a little bit. So for us, when we look at that information that they give you over the 7 days, it's not great. Yeah, I mean, you can go and get more information, but they don't consider it a conversion that they've got for you unless they convert in that 7 day window from them seeing the advert. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, and we know, and this is about knowing your business, and most people know their businesses really well. I know that people need to see me 3 times before they convert on the boat. So it's brochure, referral, website, convert, or it's Facebook advert, website, iSite, convert. You know, like I have to have 3 touch points before I can get them across the line, and you'll know in your business what that is. And if you've got a short lead time, you're going to get all of that information in that 7 day retargeting window. Yeah. Cool. So if you would like any more information, or I've glossed over something really quickly here, which I have done, feel free to give me a call, drop me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions that you've got. And hopefully I'm right on time and I can answer some questions, right? So if anyone's got any other questions, happy to answer.
You know how you said photos are so important and to keep changing, and that it's easy for a business like tourism. What about one like coaching?
Yeah, so I'm sharing stuff on there. I'm not quite as prolific because, like I say, I'm not as exciting as dolphins and sunsets. But I am posting. So I use, for me, I use quote cards. So I create things that I've said or discussions I've had with clients, and I feel like I'm saying, you say the same thing over and over again, right? Those things I start to put in. I use other people's quotes to put in. I do use photos of me, so I'll use photos and videos of me doing this sort of stuff. So when I'm presenting to a group, I'll use photos of stuff we're doing. So I'll do a bit behind the scenes of what we're doing in our current business and then resharing it. And then a little bit kind of about my life, because for me, coaching is really about, for business coaching, for me anyway, is that you don't go into business to just have a business, you go into business to support the life that you want to have. And so I do share a little bit, or I share a reasonable amount of my story behind the scenes in terms of how does that impact my parenting, how does that impact my interactions in the community, how does that impact my relationship with my husband because we're in business together. So I talk about those sorts of things and share those sort of photos, whether it be, hey, we're really geeky, we're planning geeks at home, and there is actually a 2019 calendar that my daughter knows how that works, and that's a school day, and she can see when mum's away and when dad's away. I share a bit of that stuff. And you just have to get smart about it and clever about it. Yeah. And then if you've got clients that are happy for you to take photos with them and things like that, you could share stuff about them as well. Videos. I do lots and lots of videos. So where I've had a question and I've given an answer, I'll write the question down and I'll re-answer it on video. Now that Google My Business does video, videos will go up on there on a regular basis. Cool.
What I find quite,
Go for it.
quite good is if you then think of all the internal questions that your client might ask. And just take a piece of paper and keep writing them until you realize you've written the same one 3 times, and then you're like, okay, that's obviously a very important one.
Yeah.
And then use that as a basis.
Yeah.
What you need to put up there. It'll give you ideas.
Yeah. And I don't try and be creative every day. My brain would not handle that. So I batch load. So we try and batch load. Ideally, I want to have 90 days. At this time of the year, I'm really slack and I've only got 30 days loaded. But I try and get batch load. So when by the end of January, I will have 90 days worth of content for Sarah Greener Coaching loaded for February, March and April, so that I don't have to think about anything until, if I don't want to, until April or end of March, halfway through April. With The Rock, we can get even further out in advance. We are sharing as we go though. So it means that if something comes up, if I come and do this and I might take a photo with you guys and then share it on my social page in the moment, that's a bonus. I don't have to do it. I don't feel any pressure about my social sites. I don't feel any pressure about Google My Business, because we have an absolute strategy and system and process that we just follow. We just do that 30 minutes every day. We do that 30 minutes once a week. We do that 5 minutes a day. Go in, post, quickly respond to things. If I'm waiting for a meeting or I'm waiting for someone to call in, respond to all my social interactions, those sorts of things.
So with batch loading,
Yes.
if you batch load, can you batch load into, say, Facebook?
You
diarised, so that
Yeah,
it will
so they
automatically appear?
absolutely. So Facebook does have a scheduling function. I don't use it. I think it's clunky. I use a software. I'm currently using Buffer, and I'm just playing around with using something called Later, because it's way sexier and it uses. It can do the stories functionality that's come up with Instagram and Facebook. That's been, so it's smarter from that point of view, and I can see how my Instagram feed's going to look.
So that you can create batch load externally on that thing?
Yep, and then it connects to Facebook and it automatically posts. Yep. Hootsuite was the one I originally started with, and then it just was too much notifications, too much information, and I was never using it all, so it was just too much. Buffer's far, far simpler. I still get enough insights that I can go, hey, they were really engaged with that post, and I can repost and I can repurpose. So I probably say the same thing in a month on all 3 of my channels that I'm really focused on, which is I use LinkedIn, I use Instagram, and I use Facebook for the business. I don't use LinkedIn for the cruise business, so that's something that we'll look at doing as we want to target private charters, so that becomes more relevant for us. But I repurpose it, so I don't copy and paste the same post so that it's saying exactly the same thing. So LinkedIn's slightly different from the way that I would word it on Instagram, from the way that I would word it on Facebook. And there's I don't probably post as much behind the scenes stuff on LinkedIn, although I have had some advice that would be valuable. And again, it's just changing all the time and using it, and then looking at the insights. They all give you the most amazing insights, so use them. They tell you, they say, Sarah, that one was crap. Sarah, this one was great. I'm going to do more of the one that they said was great. And just remember, different interactions have different values. Like such a low value interaction, whereas a comment or a share is a much higher value interaction. Because think about how much you like, like how, do you even click into it? You're like, oh yeah, like, scroll, like, just to interact with it, just to support a friend or, just to support a local business that you have dealings with. It's really low value. Whereas if you actually stopped, took the time to read what they'd written and then interacted with it with a comment, that's what you're after. That's gold, right? Because then you can get back in with them.
In some ways, it's why live works so much better than just doing Facebook Lives.
Yes, yep.
And, well, I try,
yeah.
But it isn't schedulable, so.
No, it's not. I guess the only thing I would say with that is people get caught up in the, I'm not good on camera, what if I make a mistake and it's live and those sorts of things. So if you're comfortable talking on camera, if you're like me and you're very verbose and you like to talk, it might be a really great medium for you. If you're a great writer, it's going to be better that you write. Like there's some people that are blow up on social in terms of their connections who are just writing because they write really insightful things, and the people that they are communicating with are like, I'm a reader and so I relate to that and I'm happy with that. Other people blow up because they take amazing photos. I take crap photos, thank goodness for filters, right? Otherwise nobody would look at my photos. But I can still do some stuff with it, but it's certainly not my strength. My strength is this, talking. So I'm far better off doing some sort of audio video. But if that's not your jam, don't play there. It just will create stress and you won't do it. But yes, it gets great. So anytime Facebook brings out something new that they want everybody to do, so that was about making sure that everybody's watching the Facebook videos, not the YouTube videos or the Snapchat, because Snapchat was real time. Every time they bring something out, they promote it to the top of the logarithm. So as soon as they have a new feature out, you want to jump on that, check it out, see if it's good for you, because they will pump it to the top of what's going on. It's like Facebook pages were the way forward. Now, if we want to get complicated about it, now we really want to play in the group space, because every time someone posts something in your group, you get a notification. Every time someone who's following your page, you post something on your page, they don't get a notification. So there's ways to play with the logarithm feed to make sure you're showing up as much as possible. But yeah, live's one of them, if you're comfortable. You're clearly comfortable doing it, Brodie. Yeah, absolutely, and I'm absolutely comfortable doing that too, because I don't, and it's real, right? I really am not into the beautiful painted toenails on sitting on the beach with the laptop on there. That's business. That's just not my experience of business. And so me tired at the end of the night after I've put my child to bed at 7:30 at night, when I'm finally sitting down to talk about what I want to talk about on live, that's what you're going to get on my live feed. This is my real life. You're not going to get beautiful makeup Sarah all the time. Sometimes you might, but not all the time. So yeah, be authentic. Don't, be authentic. Any other questions? I'm really conscious of time. Last time I was way over. 4 minutes over. So I've done pretty well this time. Pretty well, but like I say, I'm hanging around if anybody wants to come and have a chat, or if you don't feel comfortable here, jump online, book in a free session with me. I'm happy to talk through and help. It's certainly been a real game changer for us and our businesses, knowing how to use this. And so just to put it in perspective, that Facebook page I'm showing, we've been working on that since we started the business. We had a friend come along and say, you've got to be on Facebook. And so that's 6,000 people that we've got over 10 years. Doesn't happen like that.
It's okay to have 40.
Pardon?
It's okay to have 40, 50.
Absolutely. If they're your fans and they are engaged with you, I don't care how many it is. Like most businesses don't need, I mean, we see 3,000 people a year. I should at least have those guys engaged with what we're doing because I'm putting photos and videos up of them. And then they drop off, some of them drop off, some of them are still engaged 10 years later. But you're not going to get there like that, and don't buy your way there because then it's just a whole lot of likes and they're not engaging with you. So now you're going, I've got all these people to manage and you're marketing at them and you're spending money at them and they're absolutely not interested in your product because you paid to get them.
So what do you think about when people do competitions on?
So long as it's relevant and you're targeting the relevant people. So my sister and brother-in-law own the meat box, right? So unless you're vegetarian or vegan, everybody buys meat somehow, from the butcher, the supermarket, somewhere. And so they do competitions all the time that people can win a meat box or they do a really great job of their competitions.
Free bacon, just
There you go, free bacon. All right. Awesome. So Lisa does a really great job of her competitions and it's relevant and she's getting relevant people on her page. She has a ton more people than I have on any of my pages, but more people buy meat than anybody that goes on a cruise or anyone that's going to have business coaching, right? She's got a far bigger market and so she's being relevant to the people she needs to be relevant and it's worked for her. If it's not relevant, you're just getting the wrong people who are liking your stuff for free stuff.
She's also got, I guess, the location in a way over you because you have to have the people, you could target whoever you wanted, but ultimately they have to go to the Bay of Islands.
Absolutely, yep.
She could do the whole country.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's selling to the whole country and the product comes to them. They don't have to travel. So it's a different industry, right? In the tourism industry. And I'm also talking to people that are 6 months, 12 months, 2 years away from coming to New Zealand. But I want when they come to New Zealand that they want to come to the Bay of Islands. People travel to the Bay of Islands purely to do our product off the basis of the stuff we do on social. And we're doing geo-targeting stuff now and I have people all the time saying, oh, I'm seeing this great adventure cruise online. Yes, which I haven't done before, to people that live in the community. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, I never knew it existed before. And I'm like, 11 years we've been marketing this, they didn't know it existed. So, you know, you can play with all the different stuff and it can come up. But yes, competitions can work. They need to be relevant to your marketplace so you get the right people. Same with any marketing campaign. And be careful that you don't go outside Facebook's rules. And I don't know them because I don't run them, but just be careful that you're not breaching because they have quite a few rules around running competitions. Yeah, there you go.
So if you use the words like competition or sale or whatever and don't pay
Yes.
to post, Facebook will push it further down the algorithm because...
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and so certainly, and the changes that have happened in the logarithm lately, if you ain't paying to play, they're not so keen to promote your stuff. So I spend plenty of money. I probably spend easily $1,000 a month doing retargeting and things like that on The Rock. And so because we pay to play, I think that does help in terms of my organic posts and the reach that I get there. Because even though I'm not boosting that content, I am paying to play in their space. And they'll say, oh, no, that's not how it works. But I'm absolutely sure that if you're paying to play in their space, then obviously it's a business. It's a business, right? Just like you want people to pay you for your services. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. Cool. No worries.